How's it going, everybody? Well, today I picked up another firearm sitting right there in front of you. I actually picked this up off of a firearms it's a group on Facebook. It's a weapons swap sales type thing on Facebook here in my area. And a guy had this posted on there, was asking $675 for it. This is a Smith & Wesson model 629-3. And he has $675 on it. And I seen it, and I was on break at work. Well, at the end of the day, I pulled that ad back up and looked at it again. Well, someone had made a comment about it. I quite made a question about it. And right below that, he responded with, "I'll take $500 cash, need the money." And I wrote him and I said, "I'll take it if it's in, good shape." This was yesterday evening. Today, we got together and met up with the guy and picked it up for $500. From what I'm seeing, I'm thinking that is a good price for this gun. It's in good shape. It's not, mint. It's not pristine, but it is in really good shape. And I've been looking. I think I've mentioned in videos before, I've been looking and wanting a 44 Magnum for 3 to 4 years. And I've always had a problem pulling the trigger on one because I either wanted a Smith or a Ruger. And to get those, you're looking at, $750 plus. Smith & Wesson's typically, over $800. So this came about and I jumped on it. Well, let me back up. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I didn't want to pull the trigger on one at that kind of money simply because I knew that I probably wouldn't be firing it that much because of the cost of ammunition. But, I like to have a variety of calibers. 44 Magnum is, a very popular revolver round, Magnum round, and I just wanted one. I know that there's 41 Magnum, wouldn't mind having one of those either. But I wanted a 44, and I don't like long-barreled guns. I didn't want one with a barrel any longer than 4-inch. 4-inch is what I wanted. 3-inch would have been fine. This one here has got the 4-inch barrel. So, man, I was just tickled to death to pick this up today. And I just want to show it off a little bit. This is in the condition that I got it from the guy in. I haven't cleaned it. There's some minor scratches and stuff you can see, but nothing major. A lot of this can probably be polished out. It doesn't look like there's a lot of wear here. Don't remember what that's called, but you can really see it in a blued gun because as the cylinder turns, it puts a mark right here in the metal. Now on this one, I do not see. You can see a mark, but it's not. I don't think his gun has been fired a hell of a lot, to be honest with you. Shined the flashlight down the barrel before I bought it, and barrel was whistle clean. You can see the cylinder face there is clean. A lot of people neglect cleaning this because it's a son of a gun to clean. But the trigger on it, the story is, you know how that goes. There's stories for stories for stories. This kid, he was a younger guy. I'd say mid-20s, something like that. I asked him if he's the original owner, which I knew he wasn't because it's 629-3. I'm still trying to figure out when that was made. But I'm guessing, probably around somewhere between 85 and 90 or 87 and 93 or something like that. But I don't know. He said no. He said he's selling it for his dad. His dad has gotten in a crunch and needs some cash. He also had some other pistols he was selling, a couple of twin Bearcat 22s and what have you. And his dad just needs the money. And I guess his dad has owned this for a long time. He tells me that his dad used to own a gun store here in town. It wasn't like, Biff's Guns. It was, I don't remember what he called it. It almost made it sound like it was like a unique firearm type gun store or a prestigious type gun store. I don't know. The name wasn't just, Bud's gun shop or Bo's gun shop or whatever. And he said that he mainly just packed this around whenever he would hunt, in the event he would come across a bear. So true or not, who in the heck knows? But what I'm getting at is I think this thing must have had some trigger work. Now you all could tell me better than I would know. But this revolver, and single action is pulling between 2.5 and 3 pounds. It's closer to 3. I pulled it 3 times. One pull was 2 pounds, 12 ounces, and the other 2 were just a hair over 3 pounds. And boy, can you tell, I must not have ever pulled a trigger before that was that low, because to me, this is a hair trigger. It's a hair trigger. Obviously, there's nothing in there. I can't help myself but to check it. But man, that trigger right there is so light. It's just amazing. Double action pull. Obviously, quite a bit more, but it's very smooth. It feels real good. And I want to clarify something too. I made a video a while back discussing revolvers that have this style of hammer with the firing pin on the hammer, and saying that you should always, drop this on an empty cylinder. Well, that isn't the case in all revolvers. That is to include 38 Special that I did a video on a while back. I actually did the video on this issue right here about don't carry this down on a loaded cylinder, because if this was to fall and take a hit, then this could push in, strike the primer, and discharge the firearm. Well, I was schooled since that video, and these have got a mechanism in it to where this firing pin cannot strike the cartridge unless the trigger is pulled. Now, I just came across this myself. I'm going to show you something. I think I'm right on this. You see how far back this hammer is setting? Now, if I pull this back and I pull the trigger and I hold the trigger in, I'm going to hold the trigger in, let that hammer down. Now, you see how far in it is right there? Trigger's pulled back. I'll let out the trigger. Boom. It pulls that hammer back. So there is a block in there. The trigger has to be pulled to pull that block out of the way so that firing pin can actually strike the cartridge. So if this was to take a fall, bonk, fall out of your truck and whack that, this will not set off a round if it's sitting on a loaded cylinder. And I do not remember what they called it. But there are guns out there that do. A lot of your older ones, that can happen. So you need to find out for yourself whether your revolver, does have this blocking mechanism on it like this does. But I was just sitting here playing with it and seeing it do that. It's like, well, there you go. Trigger's in, let it out, comes up. So I wanted to clarify that. I'm sure there's people that watched that video before and said, that stinking guy's a dummy. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. Let me weigh this thing. This particular model has the Hogue grips on it. That thing is 42 ounces to the T as it sits. I also, with this, did get box of ammo, full box of Winchester white box. There you go. And 2 speed loaders, which I've never messed with whatsoever. But it also came with these 2 speed loaders as well. So, that's worth a little bit. I don't know, 44 Magnum these days, what's it selling for 50 rounds? I'm taking a shot in the dark and saying probably around $40, $35 to $40 for this cheap stuff. So there's value in that as well. Speed loaders, what, $15 a piece? I don't know. But I wanted to share it, man. I'm very, very, very excited to have this now in my collection. And I have so many firearms that I have gotten that I have not even fired yet. It's sacrilege, actually, to have firearms for this long and not even put one round through them yet. I got to get to them. But got to have the weather, and I got to have things slow down around here. We've been real busy this summer with doing house improvements and stuff, and finding time is not real easy. So anyway, Smith & Wesson 629-3 4-inch barrel 44 Magnum. Digging it. I will have more on it at a later date. This does come with, I'm all over the place, ain't I? Adjustable rear sight. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. I would appreciate it. We'll see you guys later. Take care.